Let's go, baby. Welcome into another edition of the PHNX T-Backs podcast right here on PHNX. My name is Derek Montilla, your mayor of the World Series. And boy, that feels fun to say. This man next to me, he's the one and only king of Arizona sports around these parts.
I prefer Czar, but I'll take
the
king.
Czar, the whatever. I'm the man that has been here for more big moments in this valley than any of us. It's the one and only Espo.
I don't think that's fair. I think you've been here for just as many.
Yeah, we
that
have
makes
been.
you sound really old.
I know.
We
That's
are
why we are old. We are definitely old.
It's it's us and then Petey and Craig here that are just the old heads.
Yeah, that's right. But we were here the last time this team was in this position, and man, this feels much differently than those days. But of course, we are still celebrating this big win by the Arizona Diamondbacks. Of course, here they are advancing to the World Series to take on the Texas Rangers, who we will discuss and give a little preview of that later. Of course, we also have a very happy occasion. I mean, I know sometimes these are somber occasions, but we are going to celebrate Mad Dog Russo because today we are honoring him with a retirement party. He ran his mouth, and now it's time to cash them checks.
I'm not happy with the energy level, Derek. I sit here, I watch these post-game shows. You finally invite me, so I think this has to happen. The Arizona Diamondbacks are the best team in the National League.
Let's go, baby!
Suck it, Bryce Harper. Suck it, Dodgers. Suck it, Brewers.
I love it. We put them all in a box. Put them all in a box. Phillies in a box. Phillies in a box. Phillies. All right. But, of course, we're just here to talk about how incredible this really is for this team, man. I mean, again, you know about managing these teams. You know about what it kind of takes to build a winner. But what Mike Hazen was able to do over the course of this season, starting at the beginning with the trade that brought both Lourdes Gurriel and Gabriel Moreno here, and then you just kind of look at everything he did to adapt this team as the season went on, and that adaptation, that refusal at times to, I guess, pay the high price and give up too much worked out, and this team became, their liabilities, like their bullpen, became assets.
Well, and he did an unbelievable job with that bullpen. I honestly, I remember looking up and going, who the hell is Sal Frank? And then doing the research and going, oh, well, that's why I don't know him. But that's the kind of moves that Hazen made. He wasn't afraid to go out there and believe in what his process was. And that's been how they built this team, is Hazen believing in his process and believing in his guy, Torey Lovello.
That's it.
And this was the payoff. It came earlier than we all thought. We thought that this was going to be, a few more years, that they're young, that they'll learn. But sometimes young, dumb, and stupid is just the best way to go about it. They don't know any better.
Yeah.
Like, I think they went in and they were genuinely excited for Game 7 in Philly, where most guys, after you've been in the league a while, are a little intimidated by the moment just because you're going into a hostile environment. You know the pressure. And I don't think Corbin Carroll and Gabby Moreno and these guys knew really that this was a pressure situation more than, hey, this is unbelievable. We get a shot at the World Series. I mean, even Fott coming in and the way he's pitched this entire playoffs, that's another. Hazen believing in that guy, knowing that he went down to the minors and fixed, worked on his stuff and bringing him up and believing in him in the playoffs enough to actually trust him. And it's paid off in spades.
And it has paid off. You're absolutely right. The Diamondbacks have accumulated some wins. They're stacking them up. They're climbing up that World Series mountain. So, Damon, you know what that means. That never gets old. That never
do we
gets
need to
old.
play Plinko next?
Yes, we will play Plinko later today, but that's a whole other
Series
thing.
Plinko.
Yeah. But of course, let's take a look at the chat. Someone wants me to dye my hair purple. No, those days are over. In fact, there is some belief amongst those in the Diamondback community that me shaving my head might have made this team come out of the dark days and advance. But again, this win against the Phillies, so improbable. The Phillies are one of the best teams in baseball. And I think you're right. The Diamondbacks played in a way where they were not, the pressure was not on them. And a big part of that, of course, we are going to talk about, like, we are going to retire Mad Dog Russo, but his comments and comments like his being used by the Diamondbacks, being used by Torey Lovullo as motivation. And I mean, at times there's been some criticism that they were too petty. And I ask, is there such a thing if it was what motivated you to get to this point? Pettiness is how some of us thrive in life. I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for pettiness. My pure drive to prove people wrong is the reason why I was able to make it here today. And I think that honestly, it just allowed the Diamondbacks to have something else to focus on at times besides the how big the moment is the history they're making.
Is it petty when these people are on record saying these things and you're simply pointing out, we proved you wrong?
Yeah.
Like, that's not, to me, I don't know. I'm all fueled by, hey, look, you proved them wrong. You backed up everything that you said in these playoffs, everything you've done, you backed it up, and you've done it in a way that shocked everybody, and they all have to eat crow right now.
Yeah,
and that's fine.
It's
perfectly fine.
It's a good thing.
I love as somebody who sat in the seat managing a professional team's social media accounts.
Yeah.
I love what they've been doing on social.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that because they have not been holding back when it comes, even before the series was even over. Once they just got themselves back into it, they were posting those videos on social media. I felt it was a little brave because, again, it's an opportunity. You're putting yourself out there for people to come back and kind of attack you if you end up losing. And for the most part, they didn't seem scared about that.
No, I mean, I would have been fired if I had done any of that. But that was in part because we were so bad at the Phoenix Suns when I was there. It would have just looked like I was being an asshole.
Yeah, yeah.
But I love today's video of just, here's every clip that we've saved, and my favorite was they used the Philly fan talking about the garden snakes. It's like, and then the clip of, they're greasing the poles in Philly. Well, guess what? Put the Crisco away. You don't freaking need it. All right?
No, I mean, again, I actually, aside from some of the comments about the Diamondbacks, the fan base was fairly mad at the Phillies. Obviously, those guys did some big things at times in the series, but overall, when push came to shove, especially in these final two games, the big stars for the Phillies disappeared. And we have said this before because we are Diamondbacks podcast that we have to criticize the Diamondbacks players. So when the Diamondbacks offense disappeared at times, we tipped our cap to Zach Wheeler and Aaron Nola for what they were able to do, but we kind of looked within and we're like, where are these guys that have been doing it so far? Where's Corbin Carroll? Where's the stolen bases? Where's all of that? Game 6 and Game 7, they went back to their identity. They went back to causing that chaos on the base path. They went back to honestly just playing the Diamondbacks form baseball. They looked like they were having fun. There was a lot of smiles on this team. You wouldn't know that this was a team comprised of young guys that have never been in a moment this big in their entire career. And like you said, maybe a bit of it is just ignorance to the moment because they've never been here, or maybe some of it is a credit to Torey Lovullo and his coaching staff for preparing these guys for this moment. I mean, it seems cliche at times to get a phone call from one of your coaches to tell you that we're going to need you in the playoffs or whatever. And in that moment, you might just think it's a motivating tool in itself. But when Brent Strom ends up looking like the genius he is for calling Brandon Pfaadt when he was in AAA and doing that, then all of a sudden it looks like this man knew what the plan was the whole time. He had the script the whole time.
Well, that entire coaching staff is great and motivating. Like, you watch those Torey clips, and I'm like, I'm gonna get you 3 outs out of the pen.
Yes,
I haven't thrown a baseball since I was 12.
He's not lying.
But he very much is a guy that you wind up believing, and I think he took the pressure off of him because the way the way he approached things, and I love that. And then you look at the Philly side, and freaking Bryce Harper brought the smoke, staring down Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, all the crap he does.
Yeah.
But guess what? He brought the smoke, but he couldn't build the goddamn fire, and that's on him.
There was a lot of talk about what he wore in this series coming into the stadium, wearing the all black for Game 6, like he was attending the Diamondbacks funeral, and then showing up in that Pat Beverly jersey. Thoughts, Espo, on the Pat Beverly jersey?
Yeah, way to try to be petty and troll in the dumbest way possible. Hey, I'm wearing the jersey of a guy you beat in the playoffs twice in Arizona. Way to do your research there, buddy.
Yeah, like I
attaboy, Bryce. Attaboy.
I sincerely wonder about that. Did he just have the jersey and was rocking it? No, there's no way.
Because it was a jersey that had just come out. It was their City Connect with Pat Beverly. That was a choice. That was a distinct choice, and it was the wrong one.
Junior, with the greatest comment in possibly the history of our chat, said, "Just a reminder, you can't spell Philadelphia Philly without 4 L's."
Yeah, our hockey team may play in a college
fucking
arena.
got him. Sorry.
Our hockey team may play in a college arena. Your baseball team may play in November.
Oh, that's a weird take, by the way. To literally go off the path and attack our hockey team. They were just innocent bystanders. They weren't doing anything. Keep the focus on us.
Poor sweet baby coyotes.
Our poor baby coyotes.
They take shrapnel all the time.
I know, those poor guys over there. But yeah, I mean, again, it seems like such a dream going back and looking, especially at what this Diamondbacks team was able to do in this historic win. We talked last night about it, but Corbin Carroll, man, this is the guy. He is the first player in MLB history with 3+ hits and 2+ stolen bases in a Game 7. Not rookie, not first year, not first time. The first player in MLB history with 3+ hits and 2+ stolen bases.
Yeah, I think we saw the offensive and pitching future of the Arizona Diamondbacks and the present, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Fott and Corbin Carroll are those guys. They have been unbelievable in this postseason. Fott, what he's done is otherworldly pitching wise. Especially, look, Zach Gallen has struggled, and I don't think anybody can deny that, especially in those first innings.
He didn't struggle on Twitter though.
No, he got a W.
He got a lot of W's on Twitter today. That's for sure.
But you needed Brandon Fott to step up, and he did it in the biggest of ways on the biggest of stages.
Yeah.
And that speaks volumes to what a kid's potential is, that he can come back from struggles and do what he's done in the postseason. Corbin Carroll is otherworldly. I think he's already on that level with Book, with Clayton Keller, with Kyler Murray. These are the guys that are that next level, torch carriers here in Phoenix, and it is damn exciting to watch.
It really is. And we have one of Zach Gallen's fire comments, I think, in a quote graphic, which we'll get up here soon. But yeah, like, this team isn't backing down from continuing to tell everybody, we had there's that shot of Merrill walking off last night. And then there is this quote from Zach Gallen that he said, which was, "We've been battle tested, had our backs against the wall for 3 months. Everyone counted us out, so we were like, who cares? Let's just see what the hell happens. We got into the dance. They bought us a ticket. Let's just fucking dance and see what happens."
That last line,
man.
Let's just fucking dance and see what happens. I was joking earlier today that this team is the Joker of the MLB playoffs.
The Agents of Chaos.
And the Agents of Chaos. And that quote, "Let's just fucking dance and see what happens," is the epitome of that. I love it.
That's big Bruce Wayne energy, with a from the 88 Batman, 89 Batman with the fire poker in his hand, right? But
you want to get nuts?
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is we've talked about that at length too. There's something that changes you as a team when you have been playing meaningful baseball games since July, essentially. I mean, they were so bad in July. They had a historic collapse, a collapse so historic that when we compared them to teams, they were teams that you've never even heard of from the 1800s before. It wasn't even like, the Rangers in 1977. No, not then. No, we were talking about like 1800. And of course, this team found a way to rebound and find their identity again. I know Pedro said it there. Our young core four to me is Carroll, Thomas, Fott, and Moreno. Those are the guys that got it done in this playoff for this team. I mean, we know Gabby Moreno is incredible, but 2 game-winning hits in this series, essentially, that's just incredible to me. And again, for a guy that, you know, was basically just, I guess, overstock in Toronto because they had so many good catchers that he's the one that they could part with. And the Diamondbacks now have a catcher of their future. But I still can't say enough about this bullpen and what they have done. This bullpen is not the same bullpen that was a liability. But last night, you know, they go out there and just push. They just absolutely shove 5 innings scoreless in the most important game, like I said, of most of the careers of the players on this team. And like, I don't know where they got this from. I really don't. But I know that at times we harped about it. That was what our frustrations were, was we felt this team was so much better than they were playing at times, so much better than that streak of think double-digit losses at one point there in July. I mean, and it was frustrating to watch because you knew that they were playing below their level. But now people have underestimated them, and now a lot of people are eating crow, which we'll get to talk about here.
How much of it has to do with Paul Sewald, though, right?
1,000%.
Get him. This bullpen now has confidence. Everything. When I hand it off to that next guy and we get to the 9th with Sewald, the door's going to get shut. Yeah. And I think once I know that analytics may say, you know, it doesn't matter when you pitch that guy because every out's important, right? But I think there's something to be said mentally when you get in to that last inning and everybody knows their role to get it to that point, and knowing you can trust that guy to do the job. I think it changes the mentality in the pen. And that was another huge get by Hazen. Hazen did a great job in looking at that and going, that's the guy we need to go get. And without him, you're not sitting here. You're probably not even in the playoffs at that point without Sewald. So another just unbelievable. It was freaking fantastic to watch him. Yeah. I love the jump around. Like, it's just, all of it is so fantastic, and it's great to have confidence in that guy at the back end.
We've talked about this a bit, but Joe Mantiply heavily credited the acquisition of Sewald for everything falling into place. And it's like you said, without them, maybe Kevin Ginkel is the closer, but how do we get there? And even if they did acquire Ryan Thompson like they did and used, you know, Andrew Saalfrank, those 4 combined, even though Saalfrank wasn't very good in yesterday's outing, have been the key to this team winning ball games at the end of the season and making it to this point. But more importantly, they had a chance to kind of, I guess, galvanize through the fire a bit with all of these games that, like Gallen is talking about them playing. They played big games for months, you know, and every single game mattered. They didn't win every single one of them, and they definitely didn't win those big ones, you know, there to wrap up the season. That last series against the Astros, that at least one win would have been them, at least in the eyes of a lot of people, earning their way into the playoffs, because that one win would have been what secured their spot. But it doesn't matter how they got here, and it doesn't matter even if they did lose those last 3 games, because here they are playing in the World Series. And you know, they stepped up when they really needed to. There's times where they look like they were out of it, like at the end of the season. At times it looked like they were out of it, even in this series against the Phillies. But they somehow pulled it off. And I think a big part of it was the fact that this team is just used to this now.
Have we been using the money from the swear jar to get better suspension on that wagon?
Yeah.
Because it is packed right now.
Yeah, it's getting heavy. Yeah, but it's fine, though. Yeah, like the swear jar, we're going to donate it to kids in some way because we have to swear for kids, but that's the way it works.
We need a swears for kids jar.
We need a swears for kids jar for sure. But you know, of course, it would be a missed opportunity, of course, to have you here and not talk about the last time the Diamondbacks were here in the World Series, because this is a different team. This is a differently constructed team. In fact, this was probably more of the ideal of what the team would have been early on, right? Yeah. A team full of young guys that they drafted and they pulled out of like minor league systems from other teams or whatever, and they came into their own over the course of the season. Maybe they come into their own over the course of 2000, you know, or 99, and then get to that point. Instead, that team was very much like some of the teams that MLB tried to build this year. They tried to go out, spend the money, get the big names in here, and get it done. And there was something about that Diamondbacks team that once they started adding all those names, it felt like a winner, right? It felt like it was like something that was kind of like a hired gun situation, and the Diamondbacks were stocking up.
Well, hell, we felt like that in '99 when they started there. I mean, I'm pretty sure the payroll, I think I read this, the payroll this year is exactly what they gave Randy Johnson. Like, I mean, look, there's a very different approach to this, and it's polar opposites in terms of the way that they got here. But there's some really creepy, eerie similarities in this World Series season to 2001.
Yeah.
Every date of the World Series, games 1 through 7 this year, fall on exactly the same dates as they did in 2001.
That's something else.
2001, where was the All-Star game? Seattle. Where was the All-Star game this year? Seattle. I believe the Diamondbacks had a pitcher and an outfielder in that game in 2001. Pitcher and outfielder this year. You also, I believe, the bird hitting incident.
There was a bird hitting incident,
and then there's a bird hitting incident this year. This is all weird to me, and I'm not a believer in just coincidences in the universe.
Yeah,
I feel like this thing, in some ways, was density. I mean, destiny. Yeah, you'll get that. But, so, like, to me, I don't know. There's something special about this, and for all you youngins in this room and who are watching, we went through this. We went through this feeling in 2001. You just started to go, is this supposed to happen?
Yeah,
like, because much different time in the United States after 9/11,
right.
and for the first time ever, everybody not living in Arizona was rooting for the New York Yankees.
Yeah.
And then all sorts of weird things start happening, and you're like, oh, maybe this will actually happen.
Yeah.
Maybe it will.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to feel like, why the hell not this year? And I think it will have that same kind of meaning. For our generation, that moment was truly special, something you're never going to forget. You remember exactly where you were. I remember ditching school to go to the championship parade and sitting out there for like 8 hours and all this stuff. You remember every step of that way. And there is a generation now that's getting to discover how much fun Diamondbacks baseball can be, how much fun the city can be during a Diamondbacks run. And then we get to live through that with our kids as they experience it too. And in a time of great division across the world, it's fun to remember why we're sports fans and how it can bring together a city and galvanize it regardless of the differences. And that's the beauty of sports and what we're seeing in this run.
That's what made it so important to get back to sports back then, because much like other things we've experienced at times, we just wanted to feel normal again, because the world did not feel normal, did not feel safe anymore, right? So now we had, this thing going on, and it did feel weird because, like you said, based on all of the events that occurred, it very much felt like everything was going in the New York Yankees direction, and I felt like that's what everybody thought. It almost felt like I don't know, like just an honorary kind of series, like, the Diamondbacks are gonna, we got a team to be the bad guys in this series, and they're going to lose, and the Yankees are going to continue their dominance and their greatness.
But I feel like it's very much like the way this team's getting written off. It's Texas is already the favorite, and you're like, are we sure? Like, again, I feel like everybody's gonna another series where everybody's looking at the Diamondbacks' opponent and going, well, that's the group, and I feel like that was the mentality in that World Series in 2001.
It really was.
Everybody was like, nah, it's the Yankees. Everything's going to happen. And then these little things start happening with the Diamondbacks, and you go,
wait now. Hold up now.
We go.
Yeah. Obviously, the big story here is that both of these teams are 100 loss teams just 2 seasons ago. And the Diamondbacks and Rangers got to this point in very different ways. The Diamondbacks did not spend $500 million on a few players like the Rangers did. But the Diamondbacks are kind of, I guess, the dream, right? The blueprint of what you would want. You would want to do it through drafting and making savvy trades, not really mortgaging your future on acquiring someone like Paul Sewald, even though we were very upset to lose Josh Rojas. We loved Rojas, and at times it would be wild to think of Josh Rojas being on this team during this run and all of the way he would disrupt all of this. Yeah, but Paul Sewald is worth it because we've never had stability like this in the history of this team, and I think that, you know, obviously the bullpen is a huge reason why you're here, but Paul Sewald, like we said earlier, is the key. And this team is just so much fun to watch. And and the other part of this is like, this is just the beginning. Mm-hmm. This is just the beginning. And we're already getting to this point.
But I also think I love that this team hasn't fallen to that mentality. Well, this is a good start. It's good. The job isn't done because you only get so many of these opportunities, right?
I'm guilty of that. I've just been happy where, you know, it's like being happy that your kid got a B, you know.
They like, survived the class.
They did the thing. Yeah, C, that's fine. That's average, right? And then there's other people that are like, you know, they want more, you know, and like that's the kind of thing here is like at first it did feel just satisfied with the fact that they did this, and then I'm happy they did this, and oh my God, they beat the Dodgers. I saw the thing on Twitter that still sticks in my mind that said the Dodgers really were our World Series. Everything after that is sprinkles, but even that seems kind of loser talk at this point. Let's win the whole goddamn thing.
Well,
we're here.
You get to this point, and it's like it's not easy to get to the World Series.
Yeah,
it just isn't. There's a reason only 2 teams make it every year. Mathematically, it's difficult. And it's so few and far between. I mean, we're talking 22 years between appearances for this franchise. Go out there and take advantage of the moment because you never know when you're going to be back. You never know what can happen. I mean, just ask the Dodgers, the Phillies, the Brewers. I mean, there was I think 278 wins combined between those 3 teams. Anything can happen. So when you get the opportunity, strike. And that's what this team does.
Yeah. Well, we, of course, have a very special retirement party to get to. So we'll wrap this up. But want to make sure that you guys go out there and get yourself the shirt of a fucking dangerous team, because this is a connected team, and a connected team is a dangerous team. So grab yourself that shirt today. Of course, if you are here on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel right now, we thank you for being here. Make sure to subscribe. If you're a diehard, you will get 20% off that shirt. If you sign up to become a new diehard, you will get that shirt for free, or any of these wonderful shirts we have to offer over at our playoff season lockers. So check out the phnxlocker.com for more. Of course, great way to maybe get some tickets to that World Series is checking out gametime.co. You think I'm crazy, but you never know what can pop up on there and how much you could potentially save. A friend of mine has 2 tickets at the back of the stadium, and apparently he looked at the 2 seats next to his, which are for sale, and they are currently for sale, I think, for Game 3 for $701. That is the farthest possible seat away potentially from the field, and that's what it's going for.
Not true.
800 now. We're up to 800.
I paid $300 to sit at the top of that parking garage across the way and look through the panels.
I don't know who told you this, but that's a terrible idea. Not going to be a great view. But I'll tell you can get a great view if you check out Game Time, because it is the place for last-minute ticket deals. Of course, it's the fastest-growing ticketing app in the country for a reason. You can snag the tickets without the stress with Game Time. It's also an aesthetically pleasing app, as Jesse would tell you if he was here. But if you download the Game Time app, create an account, and use our code of PHNX, you will get $20 off your first purchase. Terms to apply. Again, create an account and redeem code PHNX for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
I could give a shout out to Jeff in the chat. It says, congrats to the Diamondbacks fans. You deserve it from a Phillies fan.
Hey,
that's class.
I'm gonna back something up. And I know that Phillies fans have a reputation for being abrasive and loud and cursing a lot and really just piling on at times, talking a lot of trash. I have enjoyed our interactions. I mean, at times some people have crossed the line in the chat when they were bragging about winning and maybe going along a little too much, attacking our regulars, because those are my babies and I will defend them at all times. So do not come for my babies in the chat, especially not known baseball GM Elise. I will not stand for Elise slander ever. But what I will say is that they have just been absolutely at times, very knowledgeable, very classy with that stuff. And like I said, I love their compliment sandwich of basically saying, Phillies fan here, great show, love the content. We're going to kick the dog shit out of your team, but we don't look forward to playing you in the future because you guys are going to be tough. And I definitely respect the way that they have gone about this. So tip of the cap to the Phillies fans. This was one hell of a battle here in the NLCS. And I, for selfish reasons, am just glad we came out on top because I got a lot of bragging to do.
And don't worry, we'll fix the divot the flag left in the field. All right, we will.
No, we're not. That flag stays there. That flag stays there until you beat us in a baseball game. That is our field now. The bank is our bank now. We bank there. Also, check out our friends at Wink, by the way. When you talk about a great way to celebrate a victory like your team going to the World Series, there is no better way than with our friends at Wink because it's just going to get you a little high. How high? A wink, wink, I guess you could say. WYNK for that product. But of course, celebrating is not a spectator sport. You need to get in on the action, and you can do so with an ice cold Wink. It's a perfect balance of THC and CBD. And of course, if you are trying to eliminate alcohol out of your life, if you're trying to eliminate calories or sugar, Wink can do all of that for you. It is a balanced, light, and social drink, and is made in-house with 0 calories, sugar, or alcohol. So none of that. Plus, it tastes like your favorite refreshing seltzer drink. So do not miss out on Wink today. Of course, it's available in either a 2.5 milligram or 5 milligram can, and you can find Wink right here in Arizona. Look for Wink at all Sunday Goods dispensaries in the Valley and Botanica dispensaries in Tucson. You can also save money online by going to drinkwink.com and using promo code PHNX for 20% off.
I love Wink.
Yes.
I'm just waiting for them to give me one that has like 20 grams of protein in it, and then I'm all in. Like that's breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Our guy, Petey just makes drinks out of it. He like mixes it with other like juices and stuff. He's like bartending
He's
over there.
Maniac.
He is a maniac. But you know who else is a maniac? Self-proclaimed baseball host, Mad Dog Russo.
Yeah, well, the mad is correct. He's retire. You promised. All right,
it's over.
We got
for
the
you.
party.
It's
we got
the end of
cake.
the line. Yeah,
it's done.
We got you the supermarket cupcakes that nobody actually wants to eat. We got you a hello retirement balloon because we want to send you off in the right way. But for those of you that don't know, here was Mad Dog Russo's comments prior to Game 6 about the Diamondbacks needing to win 2 in Philadelphia to advance to the World Series.
To make a long story short, I've been wrong in Arizona from day one. I'm stunned to beat Milwaukee. I thought they'd get swept by the Dodgers. I never thought they'd even go back to Philly for a Game 6. I'll try it one more time. I would not be stunned if they won tonight. I would be floored. And I'll say this right now. I'll say this right now. And Bob Raceman, write it down. If they win the next 2 days, they win the next 2 games and win this series in 7 games, if they win, I will retire on the spot.
Yeah, you should.
There it is. You said it.
You've made a career out of 40 years of being wrong.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just talking very loudly in your New York accent on a New York sports talk radio station, being wrong. And now you're subjecting the nation to it on First Take. Go away already. All right?
And I feel like you're making the people around you act like you too, because I was not a big fan of Rizzo's take on what happened with the whole attaboy situation in Philadelphia. I specifically did not like her coming from my boy Jake Mintz from the Cespedes Family Barbecue Gang, and I won't stand for it. I won't stand for it because, again, like just to reiterate, there's an open clubhouse, and when there's an open clubhouse and media's there, that's kind of when you probably shouldn't be saying things that you don't want the media to print. But Mad Dog Russo maybe shouldn't be saying things on his show that he doesn't want to follow up on. I speak from experience. I am a man who at one point, well, let's not kid ourselves, at several points, including yesterday and the day before, and in August and in July, have doubted this team. I doubted them so strongly in April that I said, if this team were to come out of April with a winning record, I would ridiculously dye my hair like Lourdes Gurriel Jr., and every single one of you knows how that went, right? So, again, when you say something as foolish as it is that you don't want to be sitting in a stylish chair having your hair dyed blonde several times so it can prepare itself to be a purple color, burning your scalp and just putting yourself in all sorts of uncomfortable positions. People didn't even look me in the eyes anymore. You know, they just saw me in the street, on the streets, or at a place, and it was just right to my hair. Like, hey, my eyes are down here, kind of deal. Nobody respected me as a person anymore. It was all about the purple hair. But I went through with it. Why? Because I ran my goddamn mouth, and I got shown up by this team who continues to basically just do this to doubters constantly. That's all they've done. They have silenced their doubters. They have overcome all of this trash talk that has been, put out there about them. And honestly, I mean, even the 84 wins thing still kind of bugs me, because there is still this attitude that the Diamondbacks somehow don't deserve all of this that they've earned in the playoffs, in the Yoffs, just because they only won 84 games to get here. You guys made the rules. You guys set the postseason up this way. We didn't do something to sneak in. This is just the way that the third wild card spot happens, and that's the beautiful part about it. Just like the Phillies last year with the third wild card spot for the second consecutive year, the final team to make the playoffs in the National League is in the World Series.
Yeah, it's not their fault that you let them dance, right?
Yeah.
And now they're 4 wins away from holding the mirrored ball up. They're being Dancing with the Stars champs here, all right?
Exactly.
Look, and I'm right there with you. I say stupid shit all the time, but I back it up. I've had a dirty shoe in my mouth on a program because I've said it before.
Yeah.
I'm going to dress as an Ewok at some point on a show when I can find a costume, because I said I would if Kevin Durant wound up here. Like, when you say shit like that, you back it up. That's the right thing to do. That's the manly thing to do. And I think we found out that Chris Mad Dog Russo ain't going to do it.
No, by the way, I have an Ewok costume, so we're going to definitely make that happen. But Mad Dog Russo, he actually, to be fair, I want to, because again, I do this show. I've had this happen to me. You just clip a portion of me talking. You're not getting the full story, right, folks? Right? So we took this clip like a lot of people did, but Mad Dog Russo did immediately walk this back. Not like the next day, not after the Diamondbacks won. I mean, seconds later. If you listen to more of his show, he changes his bet from retiring to saying he's not going to coach his kid's first game of the year or something. He's assistant coach for somebody's team. I don't know.
So he's doing his kid a favor?
I don't know. But we do have a video of him talking to Stern today, because Howard Stern is a man who also doesn't like to let people off of their bets without fulfilling them.
You would got to do something that the audience says, I'm being serious now, because you made a statement, I'm going to retire. How about this? You come on my show. I'll come into Manhattan for this. We put you in a bikini, all right? And you walk down the street with a sign that says, I'm a douche. If you do that, people will say, okay. It's all right.
That's a little more reasonable. That is a little fair. That's fair. Yeah, that one would... I can live with that. That's not the worst idea. I don't. Do I have
and
to
by
have
the way,
sign?
And by the way,
do
Mad
I have
Dog,
to have the sign to announce it? Do I have to go that crazy?
Yes.
I'm going to tell you something.
All right.
If you do that, it'll make all the media and everyone will say, wow, this guy was stand up. He took it. Obviously he couldn't retire, but he was humiliated. He was in a bikini and he had a sign on that said, I'm a douche.
No, Howard. No. Normally, actually, I can't say we normally see eye to eye, but not on this one. That it's so absurd for Mad Dog to say there, that's more reasonable, as if somebody put him up to retiring, as if someone made him offer up that the Diamondbacks would retire. I know he regretted saying it because, like I said, he walked it back literally less than a minute later and changed up the bet. But the idea that he's proposing that, me walking with a sign that says I'm a douche is way more reasonable than the bet I myself made and signed the contract to on air. Whatever. I mean, whatever. Retire is what we want.
Why does Howard Stern think he's the arbiter of what happens here.
Yeah.
He does not live in Arizona.
That's right.
You want to come on a program and decide what you have to do? We got one right here.
Yeah.
Mad Dog,
Yeah.
you can join us. We can come up with something. If you're unwilling to retire, we'll take back the balloon. We'll throw the cupcakes out, and we can negotiate something.
I bought this for you.
We can negotiate something that works for us here in Arizona.
Yeah.
Because seeing you in a Diamondbacks bikini, all that makes me want to do is throw up.
Yeah,
it does not make me feel like we want to bet. It makes me feel like I lost a bet.
We lose.
And you holding that sign, it does not help me in any way.
Yeah.
That does not help me. Howard Stern is not the arbiter of this. Phoenix, Arizona, we are, all right? So why don't you show up on a show out here and we'll decide what your punishment is.
That's right.
Because we got plenty of things you can do out here in the desert, and you owe it to us because you were talking shit about our team. Our team.
That's
the
right.
guys that went out there. The
right.
motherfucking wagon.
Maybe you should have to clean the Chase Field pool wearing Baxter's Beat LA Speedo. I don't know. That still seems like a loss, but something humiliating that at least relates to this team.
I like that. Come out here and clean our pool.
Yeah.
All right?
Clean the pool.
Clean the pool.
And
I still think.
But I mean, like this isn't going to be just a photo op of you skimming the top. No, you are actually going to we're going to drain it. You're going to have to get down, get some of that mildew out of the crevices in there. Like I want Mad Dog to actually be doing manual labor on the Diamondbacks
pool. Well, then
pool.
what's Garrett Stubbs going to do then? Because I heard that's what his job was this
appearances
offseason.
to make as the Philly fanatic, I thought.
Well, absolutely, but that doesn't just pay the bills. He's got to be the pool boy here too.
Garrett Stubbs, he's he was in more bulletin board material. How are you going to be the backup catcher and how are you going to be the backup catcher and tell the Arizona Diamondbacks how you're going to go party in our pool?
Hey,
are you shitting me? It's absurd. The very concept that was something you thought was okay.
I want Mad Dog to look like Bill Murray in Caddyshack cleaning the damn pool and then eating a Baby Ruth, all right?
Well,
you don't have Mad Dog. It does not have enough cojones to come out here and pay it off out here. You don't have to quit. You can keep your job on MLB Network and Mad Dog Radio and all that. Come out here and clean our pool if you're man enough to do it.
Or change your name to Sad Dog.
How about both?
They're just
How about both?
Yeah.
Sad Dog Russo cleaning the pool at Chase Field, all right?
And if you don't accept our terms, then enjoy your retirement. By the way, I don't know how we can make you retire. That seems like a violent threat in some way, but I'm just trying to say we don't want you to be signing off on any more of these bets that you're not gonna fulfill your end of the bargain. That's the deal here, right? You got to fulfill your end of the bargain.
You know what? I say we all call our cable, satellite, or streaming providers and tell them we will be dropping if you do not take at least that hour of the MLB Network off our televisions. If he does not come clean our pool.
Don't mess with us.
Close enough to retirement because I don't have to listen to him anymore.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, he's not the only one that doubted. There's a lot of people doubting this team, like we said. And Zach Gallen, again, he was very active on Twitter today. We showed you that quote, but Zach Gallen just randomly replied to a now deleted tweet with this, which was make sure to get those tickets for your next game to a Phillies fan. And then he dropped a screenshot of Phillies spring training tickets from Google.
Do you know which fan this was?
Who was it?
I heard it was the fan that bought those 20 tickets
to
the Diamondbacks game.
Oh my God, Zach Gallen, you fucking absolute beast.
He went private.
He went private.
This was the best fastball that Zach Gallen has thrown all playoffs.
God.
He brushed this dude back so far that he had to make his account private.
Oh my God.
I mean, that's amazing.
That's a sick burn. That is a sick burn. But Mad Dog Russo, of course, we appreciate your time with this company and we wish you the best on your future endeavors.
Would you say you're missing work?
Yeah, by the way, if you want to be a blowhard, then that's what you got to take.
We've been there.
We've been there.
We take our own fair
the two of us have been there. Yeah, for sure. But anyway, we are still excited. We're going to preview this series with the Rangers, but we're also very excited because this is a company that I have been watching on my TV probably my entire life. But we are partnering together with Empire Today, and you can shop at home convenience. The right product for you needs quick and professional installation and a price match guarantee. Empire Today is the best place to get new flooring, and they are taking care of all of our flooring here at PHNX Studios. Of course, they do have copycats, but Empire Today can't be beat on quality, service, and speed. They won't promise the lowest prices because anyone who does that is putting flooring in your home that they wouldn't put in theirs. So they want to make sure that you have a quality product. They don't want these, of course, they don't want you to be out there without the best flooring you can buy. So make sure to try out everything that they have to offer over at empiretoday.com/PHNX to check out the wide variety that they have to offer. Schedule a free in-home estimate today. All listeners can receive $350 discount when they use promo code PHNX. Restrictions do apply. See empiretoday.com/PHNX for details.
I'm actually mad with Max because when he told me he was going to make that deal with Empire Today, I requested that, like Shane has the disclaimer for one of our ads, I wanted to sing the jingle on every one of the shows.
You got it?
No, I was told no.
Do you want to sing it now?
I don't know if it's their phone number anymore, so I don't want to give.
That's a good point. That's a good point. It might be wrong, yeah, but because it's the modern era, we don't do the phone number anymore. Yeah, so today. EmpireToday.com/PHNX. That's where we go in the 21st century to look that up. So make sure to check that out. Of course, also another wonderful way to celebrate this victory with the Arizona Diamondbacks going to the World Series is with our friends at OG's Brands. No matter if you are trying to relax and go to sleep at 2:45 in the morning after watching them win like I was last night, or trying to pep yourself up in time to come to a breakfast thing with your work people, you can make sure to check out the wide variety that they have to offer over at OG's Brands. Sunny Sativa, Mellow Indica, they got you covered. They also have Sleep Edition gummies. They have micro doses. They have all sorts of stuff. They also have their fruits and creams mix bag, which are absolutely delicious. You can get a wide variety of flavors all in one place. And of course, they allow you to customize your OG's experience based on the mood or time of the day or how your sports team is doing. So check out our friends at OG's Brands for yourself and try one or a few of their many delicious flavors. Check them out across all socials at OG's Brands and online at ogsbrands.com to find them at a local dispensary near you. Must be 21 or over to enjoy, and please enjoy responsibly.
They need a flavor called the Wagon because this is the highest I've been in a long time.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. That's a high dosage on that.
That's the macro dose.
Yeah. What we need is like a Yoff's edition of the but let's take a look at, of course, this opponent that the Arizona Diamondbacks have in the World Series, the final end boss, the Texas Rangers. This team has been very, very good. And one thing about this team is that when you look a lot of these stats that they are very comparable to the best teams in the National League with the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Atlanta Braves. And both of those teams are no longer standing. A big part of what their success was obviously their offense. And you can't say enough about what some of these guys have done for this team.
Yeah, I mean, I think this series, though, is going to simply come down to, can the Diamondbacks get into that Texas Rangers bullpen? Because if this comes down to a duel of pens, I'm taking the Diamondbacks every which way in this series. And Texas is a very good ball club, but they're not dissimilar to what the Diamondbacks were, right? They've had success going on the road and winning. This is a fascinating series, and it would not shock me if this is another one that goes the distance just because of how evenly matched, how they both don't seem afraid to go into any environment and win a game. Yeah. I'm very intrigued by all this.
Well, and I mean, honestly, this Texas Rangers team does remind me a bit of the Philadelphia Phillies, who we just played. A very potent offensive team with great starting pitching. The relief pitching kind of drops off a bit. I mean, a bit more significant here for the Rangers, and not great defensively as far as the defensive runs saved are concerned. 5 defensive runs saved, so they're 20th in MLB. Their 4.77 ER is 24th in the league. The other offensive numbers, pretty good. Plus 165 run differential, 3.96 ERA for their starting pitching, and then they have the 3rd highest OPS in MLB at 789. we're going to have Zach Gallen on the mound in game 1, and hopefully Zach Gallen brings some of this heat that he's bringing to social media with him onto the field. But I'm excited for this, and I still just can't believe it's happening.
Yeah, and I look at that game 3 pitching matchup with Scherzer and Pfaadt, and I think that that's going to be a huge deciding factor in this series, because the Rangers aren't quite sure which Scherzer they're getting. Obviously coming off injury and everything. This is it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
It's going to be very interesting.
Known baseball GM Elise says, remember Pfaadt's MLB debut against the Rangers? How far we have come since then. Ernesto says, Pfaadt MLB debut revenge series. I am with it. Do we have a super chat there, Damon, that I missed? Mark Solera says, towards $5 for Mad Dog's retirement fund. Absolutely.
I think he's got a pretty good golden
Yeah, he's fine. He's fine. But someone else made a great comment. Scroll up there above. I know that one guy says, can't believe Mad Bum has a chance to get another ring. There's a wonderful thing. Okay, so here's something to say. The Diamondbacks have kind of, like we've talked about it. One of the ways that this team has continued to adapt, to mutate, if you will, has been they have no reluctance on parting ways with a guy, no matter how much money he makes, no matter how long he's been with the team. And it's been emotional at times, and it's kind of been shocking at this franchise's ability this season to kind of just maneuver in that direction and give the younger guys that they have within the organization more playing time. But I mean, if the Diamondbacks win a World Series ring, there's a lot of guys that contributed a lot to this team over the years, like Carson Kelly and Nick Ahmed, that are going to get that ring too. And I mean, you can't help but think that that's a beautiful part about this, for everything that they've done for this city and for this franchise, before they part off. And yeah, I guess that's going to just continue Mad Bum's postseason legacy, I guess. I don't know, but this is crazy.
Did you hear the weird stat about this World Series run too? You probably have talked about it, but every team that's beaten the Milwaukee Brewers in the playoffs have made the World Series since the Brewers went to the playoffs in 1981. Every team that's beaten them has gone to the World Series.
That franchise,
5 of the 8 of them have won it all.
There's something about the fact that franchise stole Seattle's baseball team and moved it to Milwaukee after they weren't there very long. Just has that team
that's
struck
a brutal
with bad
existence.
Luck.
But also like Ryan Braun.
Yeah.
Oh,
so eat it.
Bud Selig being their owner for a while. There's a lot of weird things with that franchise, but I just found that hilarious when I saw it.
That's incredible. Damon, I need to get fired up. Do we have any Clubhouse videos at all already on the go that can fire me up? Maybe one talking about this team being a dangerous team. Is that one ever queued up and ready to go?
I do have that one.
Are you fucking kidding me? Listen, this is part of the journey. We're not there yet. Let's enjoy it. Let's embrace it. Let's fucking party! And a connected team is a fucking dangerous team. We are fucking dangerous. Let's fucking party!
I watch that video when I'm sad. I watch that video when.
How can you be sad
when I have
since
a bad
that video
day?
came out?
No, you're right.
There's no bad days since that video came out.
I live a robust life. Okay, there's other things besides baseball and sports that makes me sad that I need to overcome. But there are no moments in my life that I can remember being as joyful, and I'm so glad I got to share it with this family here at PHNX than this moment last night when we watched this team clinch their way to the World Series.
Let's go!
Oh my God! That's game over.
We're going to the World
And I know Espo just disappeared, and this wonderful woman is here sitting next to me. But I got to get all mushy. We did it already at breakfast this morning, but our very own Emma Clark is leaving us on to bigger and better things. Not leaving ALLCITY. She has some big things to do for this company, and she's still going to be around, but she will not be here in Phoenix anymore. And, of course, she was our producer for a period of time on the show, and she's an incredible person. and I'm going to get all mushy and emotional, but these people make this show amazing. And she, for being so young, for being one of the youngest people in this office, has been incredibly mature, incredibly driven, and she has made, I think, all of us a better person. So I just wanted to take a moment to thank you and say I'm going to miss you a tremendous amount. And I'm going to get all crying and teary-eyed.
Yeah,
I know you're going to hate that.
Act.
Yeah, no, but
I don't know how to
I told you I
act,
hate you at breakfast. So, I mean, if that
Yeah.
helps balance things out, I do hate her a lot, but it's only because hate is love around this place. So, but yeah, again, you've done some incredible things, and I know you got more in your career, but I just wanted to thank you for everything you've done for this show and for everybody around here.
Emma trained me.
She did.
I wouldn't
train
Damon.
There wouldn't
be
be
in
a
this-
Damon Dog. We wouldn't be
This is
Damon's
true.
Dogs without Emma.
Emma
So,
made
that's
me
all.
into the producer I am.
You want to say anything?
I just want to thank everyone. Thank everyone around me, whether that's production talent, the people in the chat, the diehards, the people who just stop by every once in a while, or even just the people who follow us on social.
Chris is here right now.
Yeah, Chris is behind the camera. CWP is somewhere around here.
Yeah.
It's just a huge thank you to everyone who took a chance on I came in here as an intern.
Yeah.
I was a 20-year-old college kid. I was in my junior year of my college year, and saw Michaela's tweet on Twitter. My buddy sent it to me, and I replied to it, and that's how I got the internship.
It's the best thing that ever happened to us was you replying to that tweet.
Yeah, I came in with 3 other interns, or 2 other interns, including myself. And I just wanted to thank everyone from the bottom of my heart for taking a chance on a 20-year-old kid who just had a passion, had a dream.
She's been working in sports for a very long time, even though she is so young.
I started my senior year of high school. I was
That's
actually working with Owen over at Rising my senior year of high school.
Yeah. And you came in here and you were immediately not an intern. You immediately made an impact around this place. And that's the thing is that I said it at breakfast, but I'm used to younger people being better than me. That is nothing new to me. But the stuff that she has been able to do, the way that she was able to help us be the best that we could be around here as far as the show production, the quality, and just kind of raising the bar all the time. It's wild to see somebody as young have as much experience and just have as much creativity as Emma has. So we are going to miss you, but I know we're going to be able to bug you in the Slack chat a lot. So that'll make me feel a little better. But we just thank you. Thank you so much, dude.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Well, it's just I just want to say, it's just like with Sean, Emma and Sean are both such driven people, and they work so hard, and they want to be so successful and help their team be successful that I know for a fact that anything that, I obviously I'm saying the same thing that I said to Sean, but anything that Emma does is it's gonna be great.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, she's gonna go on to do good things, and she's gonna leave us all behind back here. But all right, well, I still hate her so much, and
yeah. Oh yeah, read my shirt, guys.
Get fucked,
dude. They made me this at brunch. By the way, we had a 2-drink minimum at brunch, so you had to have 2 drinks in order to sit.
Yeah,
look
at
this
wild.
fucking shirt.
That was actually not a rule at all, and she just made that up.
If you didn't know, I'm dyslexic and I can't read.
So that's what makes that shirt.
So it means get fucked, nerds. Because I say that a lot.
That's what it does. Well, it's there we go. We got a swear jar now, so you're gonna have to throw some money in there before you leave.
I'm a broke college student. Did you not get that when I was still in college? Or?
That's fine. That's fair. But make sure to follow her on Twitter. Is it Emma Clark?
Emma Ann Clark.
Emma Ann Clark.
Full government name.
Full government name. Do not miss following her. Of course, I'm at cap_caveman with a K. Espo is at Espo. Big shout out to Clinton Baker for his super chat. We appreciate you, sir. We appreciate all of you guys for being here. Clinton Baker, real fast, says, what would you rather see, a Seawald shut down 9th or a Pavin Smith walk-off? Oh my God. I'm going with the Pavin Smith walk-off.
Yeah,
Pavin Smith. Let's go with
that any day.
Yeah, let's go with the unlikely thing.
Oh, juice me up.
Pavin Smith etching his name into the gonzo portions of Arizona sports history.
Yeah, that's what we absolutely need to see. But of course, like I said, I'm at cap_caveman on Twitter. Espo is at Espo. That's ESPO. He's still here. He just disappeared off in the corner. Of course, Damon is at Damon Dog. That's DAWG. We are Damon's Dogs. Roof. Of course, all our shows at PHNX_sports, but all roads do lead to at PHNX Wait, I said that already. At PHNX _ D-backs, and then the roads lead to at PHNX _ sports.
Sorry, guys.
Like she said, there was a 2-drink minimum at breakfast, so I'm just wrecked, and I was up until 3 in the morning. But we are not done celebrating, and we have a lot more to go. So we will be back here on Friday with our pregame and postgame show for Game 1 of the World Series. What? What? Anyway, we thank you guys again so much for your time. We appreciate you. And remember, kids, baseball is fun, but it is so much more fun when you pay off your bets.
We all silly like the mayor.